So Babs, so where are you from?
I'm from Maple Grove, Minnesota.
Okay, what's Maple Grove like?
It's more of like suburban area. Most of the time when I tell my friends about Maple Grove, they think I live this high-class life. But it's just like a regular house. Just like anyone else, hang out with my friends.
Nice,
Go to the
nice.
park. Yeah.
And so, did you go to high school at Maple Grove?
I went to middle school and elementary school, but I decided to go to Blaine High School because that's what's called a SEM school, Center for Engineering, Mathematics, and Science.
Oh
So
wow,
I decided to go there, and my sister followed me.
that's
a couple
cool.
years later.
And did you enjoy those subjects before going to that school?
Yeah, I enjoyed it, but at first I was a little hesitant. But my mom, she wanted me to go there because she knew that I'd like it, but I didn't want to like kind of leave my friends behind. So I just trusted her and I went along with it, and it turned out to be really great.
Did you find growing up that your parents provided you with the opportunity to make a lot of decisions, on your own?
Yeah, I would say for the most part. Like, I know when I was younger, I used to take apart all these electronic devices that my parents brought home, and then they're really annoyed with it at first, but they realized that I really liked it, the engineering part of it, the electronics. So in that aspect, they helped me along my way.
Yeah, we engineers can be a handful as children.
Yeah.
I actually so when I was a kid, I really liked I really loved fishing, and so I bought like a aluminum boat. But I wanted to turn it into a fishing boat, and I wanted to have a hatch in the deck, and I needed hinges. So I'd go around my parents' house, and I'd take all the hinges out of the doors, and then use them in my boat. And so,
Yeah, I bet they're like that. Yeah.
very, very, very similar.
Yeah.
Very cool. And so, what type of education would you say that you got at that SEM school? Was it more hands-on? Was it more theoretical in nature? Was it more self-study, or did you work in teams or groups? Did you have the opportunity to choose? How did you find your education at that school?
It was super hands-on at Blaine High School, especially with the SEMS research class. We get to pick a research topic, and then we just go like the entire school period for that hour of the day, and then we just used to develop a device, and then until it works. So we get to present that in May. So the entire experience, especially with my friends, because everyone in SEMS, we stay in the same like core classes throughout our entire 4 years of high school. So I get to build relationships with all these people and who are super interested in engineering and science.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's kind of different from people in other schools where they might not be interested in their schoolwork. So, and then you don't know whether.
So how will you and your friends be keeping in touch after you graduate?
Well, I hope to be coming here maybe a few times each year for Christmas and maybe over the summer. And we're planning on hanging out at least next year for the time being, and keeping in touch like Instagram, Snapchat, all that stuff. Yeah.
Sounds like you've done a pretty cool project. You mentioned earlier, you're working on a microcontroller. Is that something that you initiated yourself? Like, did you start the project, by yourself, or did you start it because you were inspired, by a friend of yours, or maybe someone for whom you wanted to start solve a problem? So how did you start working on your microcontroller project? And maybe just tell us a little bit what it is.
Well, it started out in an interest of artificial intelligence. So I've been wondering how to create intelligence or an intelligent device that can take in different inputs like your eyesight, your hearing, feeling, and combining it to form this one thing that can kind of think and take in all these processes, because that's how human beings, we don't just think isolated.
Sure.
We think with all these senses and experiences. So it started out like that. And then this microcontroller project was an attempt to try to combine all these aspects of visuals, of speech, into one collective entity, and then I could test all my ideas based off that just by programming. It's super streamlined, so even though I'm still working on it, it's really cool.
Wow, that's incredible. So what are some of the things that you've been able to demonstrate a capability to do already with that tool?
Well, the main thing is the speech input. I'm able to kind of log speech, and now I'm converting it into a digital signal. so that I could actually process it using analog to digital converter. And I'm planning on using a digital to analog converter to repeat that speech and kind of make it so that it can understand, not just record, but actually like have a basic sense of understanding.
Wow, and you know, actually, I have a friend. His name is Ben Pankow, and he's about your age. He comes over to the house pretty often, and he's really good with Python. And he's actually been teaching Python classes here at the house. And he's been teaching the natural language toolkit, and you know, other means by which to accomplish, I think, some of the things you're talking about. So, so if you'd like, I'd be actually happy to introduce you to Ben. Maybe you guys could do some stuff over the summer. And then actually, we recently helped Ben get in touch with a medical device developer who's funded by a number of investors from China. And they are actually, I think they may have just hired Ben to help them to make, you know, a new medical device. So if you'd actually like to, over the summer, have the opportunity to actually take some of the things you've learned and collaborate with people who are passionate about similar subjects, and do it, you know, in collaboration with, you know, Chinese investors and, you know, medical products businesses. You know, that's something that we can make happen if you're so inclined.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that'd be nice.
So yeah, you could you know, hit the ground running with a project. And so you know, one of the things that I've actually already noticed about you, Babs, just in, you know, hanging out for the last little while, is you know, you're very, very open-minded, and you're very you have a very sort of, I would say, you know, easy and natural approach to life. And I think a lot of the people who you know, are interested in, you know, going to, you know, top engineering schools are oftentimes, you know, very, very intense, generally speaking. And you know, maybe could you just tell me a little bit about, you know, kind of your personal disposition and, you know, how you approach life, and maybe even how you got that way?
Well, the main thing is just like my ability to make friends and kind of just hang out with different people, not just people who are like me, but people who can play like different sports, cross-country, track, and people who are in theater, and people who also do engineering. So that's the main thing. I want to have a huge group of friends to interact with and communicate with, and so that's kind of made me a better person.
And how would you say that you incorporate your friends and the people around you into your everyday life?
Well, not just by hanging out with them, but sometimes we talk about politics in the lunchroom, and just by seeing all these different ideas, even though I have my own ideas about it, I like hearing other people's ideas and then to build a conclusion. Because if you can't convince someone with an opposite opinion, and you can only convince or try to talk to people with the same opinion as you, then I don't think that's doing anything at all. So.
Yeah, I will say that you know, being a creative person, you can oftentimes find that you have an enormous amount in common with somebody who you later find out, right, might believe things very different from you. And so, you know, having creativity in common with people is a wonderful way to you know, to really live a very broad life that's inclusive of a very large number of people. And so, well, Babs, it was really lovely talking to you.
Thank you.
I'm excited. This was Babs' first ever on-camera interview, and you know, we'll see what you choose to make of it. So,
thank you.
Well, anyway, Babs, congratulations on getting into MIT, and I can't wait to follow your academic and creative career.
Thank you.
Thank you.